Hey guys, it's Nena, and today I wanted to talk to you about 5 books that are on my TBR. So I feel like TBRs are generally either specific to a month or to a season, but I thought I would just tell you about 5 books that I have on my Goodreads TBR. And even though I don't have specific plans to read these at any particular point, I thought you might like to know about them because I thought they were interesting enough to add to my TBR in the first place, so you might think they're interesting too. So Goodreads is where I keep my main TBR, and then of course if I really want to read a book, I will borrow it from the library or I'll run out and buy it. But Goodreads is where I keep track of anything that I might want to read. But I'm pretty selective when it comes to adding things to my TBR. So sometimes I'll hear about a book and I'll be like, oh, that sounds interesting, but I'll wait either until it has more reviews or until someone I know has read it and I can hear their opinion before actually adding it to my Goodreads TBR. So today I'm going to tell you about 5 books that I've added to my TBR pretty recently. And the first one is Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Susann. This is the book that I added most recently to my TBR. One of my Instagram friends just finished reading it and had really good things to say about it, and I thought, you know what, I should read the book. So I've seen the movie, and the movie was nothing like I expected. I guess I don't know what exactly I thought it was going to be, but I was thinking it would be more like a comedy, more lighthearted, but actually it's super depressing and super sad. Good, the movie's good, but super depressing. So it follows 3 young women who first meet in New York, and they become friends, and it follows their trajectory as they try to get rich and famous and make it in the entertainment industry. It talks about the pressures that society places on women to look a certain way and act a certain way, and we kind of see what these girls are willing to do to get ahead. I feel like since I enjoyed the movie, I'll probably like the book as well. The next book that I wanted to mention is The Book of Harlan by Bernice McFadden. And Dee Dee just talked about this on her channel, and I was like, that sounds super interesting. I definitely want to add that to my TBR at least. So the story is that 2 African-American musicians travel to Europe to play some concerts, and while they are there, they are captured by the Nazis and put in a concentration camp. I believe the book jumps around in time to before this happens and after, so I thought it sounded really interesting, and Dee Dee had great things to say about it, so I added it to my TBR. The next book is The Original Folk and Fairy Tales of the Brothers Grimm, and I'm looking particularly at the edition translated by Jack Zipes. So Jen Campbell has a series that she recently started kind of delving into the history of fairy tales, and I find it so fascinating. I don't know if I've really talked about it on the channel, but I love fairy tales. I love fairy tale retellings, and I just love that world. You know, I love the magic of it. So Jen mentioned this book in the first installment of the series that she started, and I thought, I've read some tales here and there, but it's been a while, and I think it would be great to have a collection translated by someone that Jen definitely recommends. So yeah, I'd love to pick up this edition and then kind of dip in and out of it when I feel like it. So the next book I want to mention, I added to my TBR thanks to Abby from Crime by the Book. I feel like I'm mentioning her all the time in videos, but she's so passionate about what she reads, and I trust her recommendations, so yeah, she just makes me want to read everything that she reads. But this one in particular is one that she was raving about, and I know she had very strong emotions about it, and I love when a book does that, when it really grabs you and makes you feel strongly about something to the point where you're like, I need to tell people about this book. So anyway, the book that I'm talking about is The Crow Girl by Erik Axelsund, and I think this is actually a pen name for 2 authors. I think it was actually written by 2 authors. So the book follows Detective Jeanette Kilberg as she tries to catch a serial. The victims of this serial killer are young boys, and when their bodies are discovered, they have been tortured and abused in all kinds of horrible ways. So I think this is really dark, really twisted, really emotional, and you know, I'm a little bit afraid, like, am I going to be able to handle this? But on the other hand, like I said, I really like a book that elicits strong emotions. So this one is on my TBR. It has been translated from Swedish, I believe, and it just came out in the US. What number was that? Was that 3 or 4? 3? Okay, that was 4. Okay, one more left then. And the last book I want to talk about today is called Three-Martini Lunch by Suzanne Rindell. So I've actually read one of her other novels called The Other Typist, and I enjoyed that. So when I found out that she had a new book, I was like, ooh, sounds good. And what sounded even better is that the subject matter is something that is right in my wheelhouse. So it is set in New York City, check, and it's set in the 50s, time periods, check. And also it's about 3 young people trying to make it in New York in the world of publishing. Check, check, check. Like, everything about that sounds like something I would enjoy. Yeah, so this one pretty much went straight on my TBR, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it really, except for one person I follow on Instagram, and I didn't even really hear about the book until it came out. So yeah, I'm curious to see. So basically I'm saying there's been no hype or much discussion at all, so I'm curious to see if I like that one and if I can recommend it to you guys. So that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and let me know what you think about having this kind of random TBR. There's hundreds of books on my Goodreads TBR, so I thought if you guys like this idea, I might do a series of these videos and just randomly select 5 from my TBR to talk about with you guys. And you can let me know if you've read them or if you are also interested in them and want to read them. Yeah, let me know what you think. And in other news, my BookTube anniversary is coming up. It is actually this Friday, the 24th. That's when I posted my very first video on BookTube, and it's my 2-year anniversary. So yeah, that's exciting. I feel like I want to make a proper video about it, but I'm not really sure what to do. So I mean, I feel like I'd like to do a giveaway at some point this summer, so keep your ear out for that. And I thought maybe about doing a Q&A, but I'm like, I don't know if anyone has any questions for me, so yeah, let me know if a Q&A is something that you would like to see, or if you have any other ideas for me, let me know. Thanks once more for watching this video. If you want to talk to me elsewhere, I am on Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads, Snapchat. I'll leave all of my links down below, and I'll link to all of the things that I mentioned, including the books I talked about, the people, the videos I mentioned, and so on and so forth. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!